Hello, my name is Sherri Hayes, and I write romance novels. Today I wanted to talk to you about one of the most common questions that I get whenever I'm doing a blog tour or meeting new readers, and that is, how did I get started writing? I actually didn't start writing my first story until I was 30 years old. I grew up and English was not my favorite subject in school. In fact, it was my least favorite subject. And one of the reasons is because I have very difficult time spelling. The grammar rules and normal phonics um, rules didn't make sense to me in school, and for the most part, they still don't make sense to me. In fact, in second grade, my teacher called my parents in for a parent-teacher conference 2 weeks into the school year and told them that I would fail the second grade because I was such a bad speller. I couldn't spell basic words. And that part she was right about. I really couldn't spell basic words. It took a lot of work on my part and my parents and a lot of memorization. But I managed to get through school, even though I did encounter quite a bit of difficulty. And when it came to spelling, I learned how to use other words to say what I wanted to say when I was writing things down because it was easier that way. I couldn't figure out how to spell something, and I would much rather use a word I didn't really want to use than to get marked off on my spelling on a paper that I was working on. So for that reason, it never crossed my mind to write a story and show it to anybody. I'd always had stories in my head. I used to make up scenarios and storylines and go on adventures with characters that I had made up in my mind since I was probably about 12, 13, 14, but I'd never written them down. Again, never thought about it. Then, when I was 30, I was laid off from my job that I had had for 7 years, and I began reading fan fiction and also watching a television show with my husband called Prison Break. We both really enjoyed the show, probably for different reasons, but I really got attached to two of the main characters, Sarah and Michael. And after the second season, the writers had a bit of a problem because the main character, one of the main characters, Sarah, the actress who played her got pregnant. And the writers didn't know what to do about that because the characters in the show had never slept together, and there was a lot of action going on, so they really didn't know what to do. And what they did was they fired her. They let her go. They killed off her character. Well, a lot of fans, including myself, were not happy about that. So a lot of fan fiction started popping up, giving them an alternate ending and giving them their happily ever after. And I decided, after reading a couple, that I wanted to give it a try. I wanted to write my version of their happily ever after. So I did, took the plunge, wrote my first fan fiction story, and by the time I finished writing it, and it was posted on a fan site specifically for Prison Break fan fiction, by the time it was over, it was the 8th most read story on the site, and I had readers asking what I was going to write next. So from there, my writing kind of developed, and I continued writing my next story. And fast forward a couple of years, I was writing Twilight fan fiction at the time, and a publisher approached me. And they were new, they were just starting out, and they were looking for authors to published through them, and I was told they had read some of my online fan fiction, and they thought I had talent and wanted to know if I had anything that I would be interested in publishing. I sent them my manuscript for my romantic suspense, Hidden Threat. They read it, and about 2 weeks after that, I was sent a contract to look over. So that's how I got started. It's definitely not your traditional publishing story, but I now have 11 titles published, 9 full-length novels, and 2 short stories, and with more on the way. So it doesn't really matter how you got here. If you're interested in writing and publishing, it's a lot of hard work, but if you're willing to put the work in there and muddle through it, don't let anybody tell you that you can't. So thank you, and I hope this answers a question for anybody, and I'm hoping to do a few more videos like this on my inspiration for some of my stories. And if anybody has any questions that you'd like to see me answer on video, please post the questions below in the comments, and who knows, you might see a video answering your question. Bye.